Have you ever experienced nepotism?
I have benefited from nepotism.
It's not all bad.
For me, it was good.
It's good. I got a job because of my dad.
With nepotism, meritocracy is no longer like a thing in the society.
Many of us go to school, but not many of us come with good GPAs. Many of us just barely make it. We think that we deserve what we don't deserve. Because you have gone to school, you think that, oh, because I have a master's or I have this and this, I should just get to this position. No.
Healthy mindset, healthy lifestyle. Hi, I am Sih Njong, your host for Healthy Mindset, Healthy Lifestyle. Welcome back to another episode. And here with me, we have our co-host, Sunjo Thomas. Welcome.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure to be here. And as you all know, you already know, I don't really need to introduce myself again, I think. And thank you.
All right. And our special guest of honor, Marguerite. Am I pronouncing you right?
Yes.
All right. Welcome, and we are pleased to have you.
Thank you.
So, tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Okay, so I'm Nguidjol Marguerite.
Okay.
I don't need to give my HRB.
No, you don't.
I'm an intellectual property agent, and I work here in Yaoundé. And I'm a mom. So I have a daughter who is almost 4 months old.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Oh, that's
so I'm living my best life.
All right. Very important. Live your best life, girl. Life is one. All right. So, Thomas, tell us, how have you been and how do you feel about the podcast? How has it been going?
As usual, I always give the same answer every episode. It has been excellent, the podcast. A lot of feedback, good reviews. So I think we're doing something good here. And for how I'm doing, I think I'm okay with school. I've started school, so a lot of stress, but I'm okay. I'm handling everything.
All right. That's nice. And thank you all so much for your positive feedbacks. And we will do our best to incorporate those which are within reach. So we love you all and we see you all. So we're going to dive straight into our topic for the day. And our topic for today is the pros and cons of nepotism in our society. The pros and cons of nepotism in our society. So this is a very interesting topic. Yeah. And as usual, I'm going to give our guest of honor the floor to start up this topic. So what do you think about the topic, the pros and cons of nepotism? Have you ever experienced nepotism in any way? And if yes, please do share.
What I'm about to say might be controversial.
Let's have it.
For me,
yes,
every African, or almost every, in fact, let me say Cameroonian, I'm going Cameroon. Yeah. Almost every Cameroonian has experienced nepotism one way or another. Yes. Either you've benefited or you've suffered loss because of it.
Okay.
I personally, I'll say my food. Yeah. I have benefited from nepotism. Truly. I got into the legal space after I left when I was on my degree.
Okay.
So I had an uncle call a friend of his to give me an opportunity to do a professional internship at his law firm. Wow. So that's how I got my feet into the legal system. And from there on, I was retained. Wow. And then I just kept growing. So I've been working for 4 years now.
Congratulations.
And it's all thanks to that call.
Wow.
So, while people might think nepotism is a bad thing, it just depends. For me, it was good. And I don't think anybody suffered a loss because of me entering the firm. I think I was a good addition to the firm, but I would not have had the ability to encounter such a person if I did not pass through my uncle. So
yeah, that's a very good one. Honestly, it's not all bad as society makes it look.
Exactly.
So, Tommy, tell me, have you ever experienced nepotism, or tell us?
Personally, I cannot think of any experience of nepotism, but I feel like I've experienced it from the background. Like I've seen
it happened.
Yeah, I've seen it happen.
Okay, and what's the experience like for you?
And I feel like nepotism is something where sometimes it has a good turnout, sometimes it's bad, but like sometimes when people are in that situation, sometimes they actually have the experience or the qualification before getting into the job, before being introduced by a family member of.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just like you're just from a well-doing family, and then they just put you even without the qualification just because you're a member of the
That family.
Yes, there. So that's what I think about nepotism.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, in my case, I have experienced nepotism with my full chest. And honestly, it's good. Yeah, because the first thing is when you're in a position where you can use your connections for good, make use of them. If you come from a family where your family has the ability to get you into the right places with the right training, why not? They've worked hard for that position, and it is only okay for them to want to help out family members, children, and all. For instance, I got a job because of my dad. Due to his influence and his position, I was able to get a job. And that job is helping me out as a person. I have myself to sponsor. I have other little things I have to take care of. And if I don't have a job, I cannot really sponsor. And to be honest, where I'm working, it's what I have studied. I'm trained for it theory-wise. I have a good knowledge for what I'm doing in my job. So it's good. It's not like I'm going to be where I don't deserve to be. Because one thing I feel like when many people feel nepotism is wrong and it's bad is because in some cases people get jobs where they do not have any knowledge of on the job. But at the same time, there's what they call on the job training.
Yeah.
Once you get to a position where you don't have the knowledge to carry out that job, definitely they're going to start off by training you first into how it works, how it goes, and then you develop the skill. And in the end, most times you end up enjoying that experience and working hard, because I don't feel like life is standard. People go to school, they study things in school just to be able to get a certificate. And after that, when you're placed somewhere and you're able, the point is, so far as you're being placed in any position or any job, try your best as much as you can to make it work. Let you being there not be a loss to that firm, not be a loss of that opportunity. Yes, it might not, we don't know how it might affect another person by us getting that recruitment, because you never really know all the things. Because one thing is for sure, where I work, I'm not the only person who has applied to work there. And many people have not been able to have that opportunity to work there because it's a very tight place where to be able to work there, it's really difficult. So I know that many other people have applied to work there, but due to the influence my dad has, I'm able to work there. So I'm going to give him my best. And for him, because he has gone out of his way, like
His reputation.
his reputation is at stake. There's so much at stake that I have to put into consideration to make it work. Secondly, doing the job, I actually enjoy it. I was not very happy in the start, but right now I'm enjoying it. I'm learning and I'm ready. Every day I wake up, it's making me very conscious. Every day I wake up and I'm happy to go to work. Regardless of how it might be tedious but I'm happy to go to work. I'm happy to learn something new. It's giving me the opportunity to see what other people are going through and to know the struggles, and to know if I'm in a well-placed position and know how to solve some problems that I'm encountering currently where I work. So nepotism is not all that bad. The point is, make the most out of what you're given. Don't make the person who gave you that opportunity regret it, but make the society actually enjoy, and that firm should be able to grow because you're in it. I think before getting retained in the law firm, it's because you did a good job.
Yeah, definitely.
It's not just about your uncle anymore.
Exactly. Like when I joined, it's not like as if I was receiving like 100K like for professional. No. I think I started for what, 25K?
Oh.
25K, and then like as the months kept going, they kept increasing. And then one day the lawyer just came to my desk and was like, "What do you think about working here? Like, what think about retaining you because of this, because of that?" And it was nice, but some of us just need a little push. Like as a mother, if I do start a company of my own, I don't see why my child should have to start from zero when I have gone, like, done all the groundwork to get to a particular space. Like,
Thank you.
I don't get it.
There's no point. Honestly, there's no point you have to work that hard and build the foundation for your child to come and start working from scratch.
It makes no sense.
It makes no sense, honestly. That's how I feel. True. You don't want that opportunity to slide off her table. And like you said, before they wanted to retain you, they actually saw that you're impactful. You took it serious, you made the best out of it, and it got you to where. So now, it's no longer your uncle.
Yeah.
It is your personal efforts that you put into it. I feel like what makes nepotism bad is when someone doesn't take it serious. When you get that opportunity, you get there, you're not qualified, yes. You get into it, you're not ready to put in the work to learn.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Okay, so from observation, I've seen that most of the wealthiest, biggest families, they practice a lot of nepotism. Like the royal family
in the UK.
The royal family in Saudi Arabia.
Okay.
Like in the UK, the Rothschild family. Most of those families have generational wealth because of this practice of nepotism. Nepotism also brings along this aspect of trust, respect. So because once you're working along with your family members or friends, there's this certain level of confidentiality, there's this certain level of trust, respect among you guys. Because like these families that employ just from within the family, you barely ever hear like there's a crash problem or stuff like that.
Bankruptcy.
Everything is handled within and is handled perfectly.
Properly.
So to think of it from that point of view, you actually start seeing some benefits to nepotism. No, though it's not all that good, but there's a good side to it as well.
But at the same time, what do you think about those who do not have the opportunity? Because one thing is having the opportunity is a blessing, and which should not be taken for granted. But at the same time, there are also people who do not have that opportunity. So what do you think?
Yeah, I feel like with nepotism, meritocracy is no longer like really, it's no longer a thing in the society, because you hardly really see people coming together to like compete for the position, and it's just mostly like phone calls, and just because you know somebody or you know somebody that knows somebody. So the merit in it is really, there's a lot of people out there that graduate on a daily, and at the end of the day, the African society, Cameroon in particular, takes away that opportunity from them, because at the end of the day, we just know that a phone call is going to be made, and that person that has the opportunity to be in that place is going to take it. And the people who can merit it from their work ethic or
from school, from their being a good scholar, good GPA and all of that, they don't get the opportunity. That's true. Maggie, what do you think?
Well, let me play devil's advocate.
Yes.
You said I'm going to be the bad person to this segment. Many of us go to school, but not many of us come with good GPAs. Many of us just barely make it, like we barely pass. And we are in a very competitive society because the job market is not as big as we think. Especially if you're trying to be in a corporate space, the old people don't want to go. So there's only so much they can really open up for the younger people. And if you're barely making it in school, there's no way that you're going to compete with
somebody who's making it
GPA or 2.1, and then you're sitting in the same space with the 3.5, the 4. Like
it's tough.
It's tough. So, and then most people are not willing to start from down, like from the insignificant things, as they put it. Like many people don't want to go for internships. No many people they just want a job. They just think that, okay, I've dropped my application here. If it's not a job, I don't want to hear from them anymore. So I feel like our generation, we're getting lazier. We don't want to start from the basic. We think that the people before us just got there. Sometimes even the phone call is not enough. Sometimes the phone call can get you an internship. But if you mess up, you will not get that job. So I feel like as the generations that as we're going, I don't know, as time is going by, we're getting more entitled. We think that we
true.
deserve what we don't deserve.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true.
Because you have gone to school, but you don't have the experience to back up. I don't want to learn. You think that, oh, because I have a master's or I have this in this, I should just get to this position. No,
Yeah.
no. Chill.
Chill.
There are people out there still
Yes.
with the high GPAs and they still don't have a job because of this phenomenon. So I'm just trying to say that if this phone call is made or whatever, there should be a chance where people will compete for it. That's why there's a lot of brain drain going on now in the country, because those people with the high GPAs, the country facilities, or let me say the companies in the country, don't want to employ these people with the high GPAs, and they are forced to go abroad and look for jobs elsewhere. Why? Because they already know that this is the case. It's very frequent in the country where people just put in places their sons or cousins or whatever without them having to test the ability with others. So that's why I'm saying that it has definitely this aspect where there's competition for work. It's just more like, that's why there's a lot of employment among the youths now. There's a lot of
Unemployment.
unemployment. Sorry, there's a lot of unemployment. A lot of people graduate. A lot of people have the potential. They have it. They have everything in their back, but they don't have
the
the opportunity to showcase it. That's what I'm trying to say. So nepotism has definitely that aspect, because we just know that the people with the right connections are going to get the job. Not the people with the right connections could still be the top. Like if they're to compete, they could still be the top.
That's true.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, there's still benefit of doubt. We don't know. We don't know that. Yeah.
So what I'll say is, yes, true. Not everybody gets the opportunity to have somebody to place a phone call. Very true, very correct. Like you said, there are some people who just go to school for going. But the first thing is, there's also a misconception, I feel, that people feel like people who get those phone calls are people who are not qualified. Not everybody who gets the phone call is not qualified.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There are people who work their asses off to get good GPAs, to actually do well in school, and it's just their blessing that God blesses them extra by making their parents being able, or relatives, to be able to place that phone call. I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but one thing is, also back in the days, our parents, that like us right now, we're sitting here, this is a foundation we're building. And we're not building this just for us, but for our generations to come. And if you're working this hard and somebody else is just lazing around, tomorrow when you get there, you'll be able to make the phone call for your child to be well placed. You see?
Yeah.
You'll be able to make that phone call for your child to be well placed. It's not your fault. Right now, I'm working. You're working. You're putting in the effort that is needed so that tomorrow your child does not suffer. So it also starts with you being able to put in that work. But life will not always give you all the opportunities you need. Life will not come and present itself, but you have to do something. Don't just sit because, oh, I didn't get the opportunity. If you have the opportunity, use it. If you don't have it, create it. It's not like it's all lost. It's not all lost. So as much as, yes, and like you said, nepotism has also made it in such a way that merit is not always, people don't get what they deserve. True, it has reduced the chances of having a job that you actually earned it or deserve it because of your GPA. You went for an interview, there were how many of you sitting there for that interview, and you got chosen because you were the best. But it's still happening.
Yeah.
I think that positions like that, or it's rather unfortunate that we are in Cameroon, the job market is very limited. That's why it's also difficult. How many times do you actually hear that job openings in good companies in Cameroon? How many times a year? do.
But you see, that's the problem. Everybody wants to work for the UBA, the Eco Bank. Nobody wants to work for the smaller
enterprises.
Yes.
So you have to take
There's
all
only
of that
so
into
much they can employ. There's only a limited amount of people that they can employ in the country.
Exactly. And there's a limited amount and there's a limited time space. It's not everywhere that you expect UBA to be wanting an accountant or wanting a banker.
Exactly.
I mean, it's not possible. So when there are no opportunities as well, you also have to try to create. I'm not saying this because I have a job due to nepotism, but I know that even if the job was not there, I'll do what I have to do to get what I need. Yes, that's the first thing is how your mind works. So that even if opportunity does not present itself, you create your own opportunities. So right now we're going to go on a very short break and we'll be right back. Welcome back to Healthy Mindset, Healthy Lifestyle by Sih Njong. And we are on the topic, the pros and cons of nepotism in our society. So Tommy, you had something for us.
So in contrast to what you said, I'm going to try to say something a little bit out. I'm trying to say we've been focusing a little bit more on the 9 to 5. We've been focusing on the white collar job situation. Basically. I'd like to say nepotism goes a long way, like into entertainment. I've had experiences, especially I'm more into sports. I've had a lot of experiences where, like you see the Ghana national team, Andre Ayew, Jordan Ayew, they're already reaching their 40s, but they don't give a chance for the
younger generation
to play. And this is just because of their father, who has been like so high in the Ghana Football Federation.
All right.
And so they just playing and they dictate the whole scenario.
Team,
I've seen like in basketball context where NBA players like LeBron James, his son recently joined the draft.
Do you feel like if that situation is did he join not out of there's some nepotism in it, yes, but do you feel like it's totally not out of merit?
I don't feel like totally. He's been working his way to be in that position at some point, but I feel like it's too early
for him to be there already.
He's not yet ripe to be in that position. And he hinders other talented youngsters joining the draft. So nepotism, it hinders a lot at the end of the day. There are a lot of people who are just stranded, and there are a lot of people who don't put in effort anymore because they just feel like
after all, even if you do how you not get like, it.
For instance, in filmmaking industry, Hollywood, all the like, you see people auditioning over and over and over, and they just take relatives, sons, daughters of former
actors and actresses
and put them in those positions. You see, you like hear generational names, you hear names in the movie, music industry
that have been there for a very long time.
Whereas there are talented people out there doing their best, but still yet cannot.
Their best is not good enough for that position.
Who says their best is not good enough?
I'm saying their best is not good enough for that position in terms of nepotism. Nepotism makes their best not good enough for that position in that time and space. That what you're saying is very true. It hinders a lot. But also, it's because those people who are able to get them there have done a lot of groundwork. It's not easy. As people may make it look like, okay, they just call somebody and immediately you're here. It's not all that easy. It takes there are a lot of things it takes a lot of work that it puts in and even gives you that ability to be able to make a phone call that can be a life-changing phone call. It takes you to get a lot of connections, to have put in a lot of work as a person to make somebody to feel like, okay, I could change this person's life by offering a job position, whether in the music industry, whether in whatever industry it is that you understand. And it hinders a lot of other things. But like I said, if an opportunity does not present itself for you, you have to create one for yourself, because there are still those opportunities out there that you could fit in. You must not always fit into what society wants you to be. There are things that you can do, create, because everybody, everybody who is complaining about nepotism, if the tables were turned and they had that opportunity, they would do just the same thing.
Yeah.
It will not be any different.
Yeah.
People are really just complaining because they don't have that opportunity.
I get you.
If they have that opportunity, it's going to be the same
I
thing.
get you.
Yes.
As a parent or as
A guardian, whoever.
or as a guardian or whoever, if you're so confident in your son or relative or friend,
Yeah.
leave him to compete. If
Okay.
you're so confident in his ability, let him top the whatever. Let him be the top and get into the position if you're so confident in him.
But he's still going
And
to be
there is
competing.
this saying, there's this African parents saying, say, your father's property is
It's
not your property.
Of course not.
You've been hindering on the fact that these parents have worked their butts out to be in that position to make that phone call. That's fine. But at the end of the day, don't you see, if you've worked, let your son work. I'm not saying the son or the daughter is not working, but as I said earlier, if you're that confident in your son's ability, let them compete.
Don't make the
for
call.
it. Yes.
They are still going to compete, because people make it seem like just because you got the phone call, it's going to be easy for you. It's going to be worse, because you now have to prove yourself that it's not because of the phone call. It's not because of my father that I got. Now you have to prove to them that, okay, I have the ability or I have the skill for this job. Like when I got into that firm, like even on my first day, the general manager of the place, his statement was, he looked at my transcript and then he just puts it down and then he looked at me, and the thing that he said, I found it very hurtful, because he said, if not because of that call, you will not be here. So for me, I found very insulting, because I was just like, I know that I'm hardworking.
You don't know the effort.
It's not even a job that you're giving me. It's an internship, which I'm grateful for. But you have not yet tested me, and you're already judging me just because somebody made the phone call. And so you have that stigma on your back, because everybody's just like,
people are waiting for you to fail.
Yeah, so it's worse when you enter through a phone call and everybody knows
I'm telling
you got in because they called.
Because of a phone
so
call.
It's not like it's like a bed of roses. For me, it's worse. And you still compete at the end of the day, because if you're not good, you cannot stay there. Your father will not keep you there. If you're not good, they will send you out, and you've embarrassed your father, your family. In fact, you embarrassed everybody.
See, to be honest, that part, when they make a phone call, the expectations, all eyes are on you. Everybody's watching you. Everybody's watching. Everybody is waiting for you to make the slightest mistake. So yeah,
because they're not looking at you. They're looking at your
family. It's no longer about you.
It's not
so you
about
have to work. You have to prove yourself. I mean, people even start picking on you at your job site. People just hate you because they feel like and they make it very hard for you. Very, very hard
to earn their respect is hard.
It's so difficult. No matter what you do, you can spend your whole time working day in, day out, doing it right. And somebody to come and tell you, this is not how it's supposed to be done. See, Amina, it is that painful. You mentioned something about allowing their children to compete, and if they're that confident in their children. To be honest, it's not lack of confidence that make parents to go and want to look for jobs for their children. It's the society, it's the country that we find ourselves in that makes those parents go out of their way. Do you think that your parents are spending money to send you to school? After spending all of that money to send you to school, right? At the end of the day, the country is the way it is. And they know how difficult it is to get the job, and they have the opportunity to get you one. Do you think they don't have... There are some parents that they'll rather spend all their money, because there are opportunities in Cameroon where you can actually pay for Enam, Emia, those things. If there are some people, if you have your 5 million, they ask for huge sums of money and they pay. There are some parents who sacrifice, keep that money and pay so that their children can get into Enam or Emia. There are other parents who sacrifice, keep their money and send their children out of the country, right? those parents who choose to make the phone calls, it's not lack of confidence. It's just the economy. It's just the society that they know that, okay, if I can do this, let me just do it. And my child prove themselves now by doing well in that workspace.
And for me, it takes a greater level of confidence in your child for you to put
even
your
make a
reputation
call
on the line. Because just imagine that you've taken 12 years or
to
20
build a
years to build
reputation.
your reputation and you're standing in society, and then you send a riffraff to go
To
and
go and
work
work
somewhere, and
Okay.
it tarnishes your 20 years
See,
of work.
I mean,
Okay,
just one mistake will bring everything
Our
to
parents
the
still care
ground.
about how they look. Oh.
See,
Forget
let me
everybody
let me make a
does.
point.
Yeah.
Okay, from everything you've said, I've listened and I've understood. But I feel like corruption is so normalized because you saying that paying 5 million to put your child in that position, that is total corruption.
It is.
It has been so normalized in the society because you're just saying it like it is supposed to happen. It is not supposed to happen. And these are the kind of things that come alongside nepotism. Nepotism comes along with corruption, comes along with hate. It comes along with a lot because hate in the aspect where when you bring in someone into a job sector,
Yeah.
your colleagues will just be looking at you.
They start hating on you.
Yes, because they'll just be feeling like
You don't deserve to be
you
here.
don't deserve to be here. And it brings also division within colleagues because they feel like there is a class, like they've made classes
Yeah.
in the job site where this person is supposed to be treated this way, and us that we just came just like that, we have no influence, we have nothing. So there's a lot of division. Nepotism comes with a lot, actually, if you want to look at it. So
honestly, it does. Everything is a two-sided coin. That's what I believe. Everything is a two-sided coin.
and I have something
Okay.
to add too.
Yeah.
Where I feel like the both of you are talking out of experience, and that's very okay and acceptable. And I feel like you guys' experiences are good ones, but there are also bad experiences of nepotism where the child who is brought into that job is expected to do nothing and still get paid. There are many places where that happens. There are many places out there where that kind of thing happens, and it is really bad. So we have to look at all the sides. We have to look at everything. You understand? That's my point.
That's why I'm saying that in everything in life, it's a two-sided coin. There's the positive side and there's the negative side. And like you said, nepotism is not all that good. We're not saying that it's all that good.
Yeah.
But neither are we saying that it's all that bad. You understand? And like you said, there are some people, yes, there are people who just get employed and they're just employed. They don't need to work. That too now is to that certain level. It means their parents have that amount of influence where the children can get jobs. They don't work, but they get paid. That's another level of influence. But now, as an individual, that's why individuality, your personality comes in, your mindset comes in. Because if you're somebody who wants to grow, if you're somebody who wants to become something of yourself, who wants to be able to sit tomorrow and say, I am proud of myself, I got this, and I was able to make this by myself. Because there's some sweetness to having an achievement that you made it happen. Getting a job and making that phone call is one thing.
Yeah.
Going to the job site, doing your job right, even if everybody in the office thinks that, oh, you're just a privileged child, but you work hard. What do you do? The effort of waking up early, going to that job daily, respecting the rules and regulations of that place, adding value into that place. Trust me, when you're doing all these things right, one day you get the merit that you deserve. You get the thank you deserve. Good, as much as they say that now, good, you can be too good, it might never pay, it might pay. One thing I believe is good will always pay. Even if it doesn't pay there's somebody who is going to be watching.
Exactly.
People are always watching.
Always.
People are always watching regardless of where you are. You understand? Yes. So if you're that kind of person that they'll get you a job, you don't even bother going there to even try. You know that you get paid regardless whether I attend or not. It means you as a person, okay, personally, maybe that some people do it for security. You might be doing other things at the side where, okay, this job is going to take you away from, and you're just privileged enough to have this job and still earn a salary to be able to fund some other thing that you're working on. That's fine. That's the setting where you are, and it's okay. But now, you who does not actually do another thing, but you just have a salary which comes in. Like, personally, what do you, as your person, what does it mean that your personality is just that kind of personality? Because I don't feel like my dad will have to sweat, get me a job, and I don't show
Yeah,
up.
you waste it away. It makes no sense.
No, you're being greedy. You're being wicked. For me, that's wickedness. Because why would you not show up? Because that's your father's hard work. You know what it means to beg somebody who is either above you or below you to
For your
do
child.
to do a favor for you. It's, and worst of all, if you're somebody who is even higher than that person and you're asking that person, please, I need this favor. That person has the right to refuse. And what does it say? Or worst of all, even when I'm begging, your reputation is on the line, because they're like, look at this one also. This one can beg. This one can. There are many things on the line.
Yeah.
There are just too many things to get to that position. Honestly, the pressure that is in it is a lot. From the person who is making that phone call to you who is going to be there.
Sometimes
The perfect.
sometimes there's no pressure.
There's no pressure.
At the end of the day, sometimes you can just be in that high position to demand things and it'll be done for you.
True.
Yes.
But then nothing goes for nothing, though.
Yes.
The truth is that I've done you a favor today.
You
And
must.
I will never forget it, because the truth is that I'll always say that you got into perhaps UBA because you called me and I called somebody. So
Nothing in life now.
for me, it's forever
Forget.
in your father's head or your mother's
So
head
yeah,
that this
there's
person
nothing
did
that
it.
there's really nothing that,
That
goes
goes
for
for not-
free.
yeah.
There's always a price you must pay for something. Yes, a favor there's always a favor for a favor.
So it makes no
Even
sense
if
for you
it's
to
just the
waste it.
little, please, okay, just pick this thing and give me. That's a favor, because you can still get it. See, there's always a favor. It's never just a favor like
it's
that.
never.
There must always be
The person is never doing it from the goodness of their heart only.
Yes.
In our society, we're talking about our society, and we know our society that people are in the place to demand things and they'll get it without having to do something back in return. That's just what I'm saying. And nepotism, as I always say, nepotism, it drives a long way. There are people at the top, that people at the very top have kids are going, that all of us already obviously know that they're going to be placed in those positions, and they can demand from whoever and it's going to be done. Because even, like, for instance, I can demand something from a bank manager or something where I'm in a high position to sack that manager if the person does not do it. There are also things like that. There are also those type of situations where you don't need to really give anything back.
Okay.
You never know.
Let me tell you something.
You truly never know.
This is where we talk about life. In life now, nothing is permanent. There's no permanent situation. A rich man only get, if you are rich and hardworking, you only get richer. You not remain in that stable amount of riches. You're either going higher or you're going down. The same thing as you who is in that position today, you will not always be in that position.
Exactly.
The table will always turn, and regardless whether you're in a position to just demand for stuff and you get it, tomorrow your child will not be in that position to just demand for stuff and just get it. Whoever you're putting in there will not always be in a position to just demand for stuff. And that's why we're also looking at, we're young, we're the leaders of tomorrow. The government will never be the same government in the next 30 years, 20 years to come. God forbid.
Can still be the same set of people.
No, I don't believe so.
Yes.
I know deep in my heart there's serious change coming to Cameroon.
Amen.
And I must be a Cameroon game changer, please. It will not be the same. So right now we'll have to wrap up on our topic. So let's just throw in a few in point forms what the pros are for nepotism. So throw in.
I think the biggest thing for me in nepotism is the fact that there's that continuity. For example, like you said, we're only talking about 9 to 5, but as a business, if I have my company and I have a daughter right now, my daughter will have more interest in my company continuing than somebody
Building
that
your
had employed.
building your legacy.
So yeah, that all of us always work for a legacy, and I think that the biggest thing about nepotism is that it's going to ensure that the legacy continues, that somebody's always there to keep it up,
to hold up the legacy. Nice. Tom.
Exactly, what she said is actually really right, and I feel like another advantage or another pros of nepotism is that aspect of respect. That aspect of respect, because without respect,
you'll not be able to get to where
you will not be able to get to that position. And the respect also goes along to the person having the job, who respect the job for the fact that the person has been given that opportunity. Yeah, so respect is a really
a big thing on that. Yeah. And to me, I feel like the advantage with or the pros of nepotism is right now I have a job, I'm working. Tomorrow when I get to a position where I can also influence to get another person to have a job, I'm going to do that. So it brings about also it's a way of also helping and creating opportunities for other people over time. Yeah. And the cons, what do you think cons are, Tom? Would you want to start? You've been mounting us all the cons. Nah, you've been here giving it to us back to back.
The biggest con I would say is the fact that it has hindered the aspect of merit. That's just the biggest con.
All right.
Yeah.
I think another con is that it breeds incompetence. Like he said, that there are some people that they can put in positions that are just,
they don't merit.
Yeah, and they're not willing to do the work to be better. So they just remain incompetent, and they're just like, what the hell? My father is a minister, my father is this, my mother is this.
Yeah.
So they're just comfortable in their incompetence, and it kind of ruins things in the society.
Yeah. And to me, I think it limits society one way or the other. It brings about hate, jealousy, crime wave, all of that. I mean, some people, I know that cases where I've heard of people killing others just because somebody got a job. Yes, that's the amount of envy and jealousy it can bring. It brings about a lot of negativity depending on the environment where it is. But most times, when we less privileged people, it brings about negativity and hate, which is very bad. And just for clarification's sake, I didn't getting into enam and pain, corruption, and all of that. Yes, I'm not saying it's normal. It's not, because enam, it's a competitive exam where people are supposed to write that exam, go through whatever process it takes to get there. But it's rather, in reality, unfortunately, that is not the reality of enam. And you just have to, one thing about life is, as much as it's theory, it's true, it's supposed to be like this, there are rules, reality will always set in, and reality most time will always win. Reality will always win over theories most times. Yes. So straight into the next segment of our program, Tom, give us the tweets. What are the people saying?
So here's the first tweet by Suppressed Dadaba. In Ghana, what we call grace and favor is just corruption and nepotism.
That's so brutal. That guy is literally hurt. He's facing the other coin of the cons of nepotism at this point.
Yeah. And then the second tweet by Ofedo.
Yeah.
I need a friend with benefits, not sexually. I'm talking about nepotism and privilege.
Smart one. Of course, it's very
friends that can open doors for
us. It's very important to have influential people around you to also make yourself an influential person. So that somebody having you can benefit from you, not just being there. So yeah.
And then the last and final tweet by Soji.
Okay.
There's a thin line between nepotism and favor.
Yes, true. I agree.
Yeah, I agree.
There's favor. Not everything is all about nepotism, because there are some people who are actually really favored by God.
Amen.
So, and that's it for a segment of healthy mindset, healthy lifestyle. So we have a section where We put out people's comments. We'll be reading out your comments from the comment sections and doing street interviews. Share your videos. If you like, you make a video, you send to our pages and we will repost them. And your opinions are very welcome in here, but no hate, no foul languages, no hate. We don't accept hate. No, 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 no. We're in here for the good stuff. So do not forget to share, like, comment, and we'll be looking forward to seeing you on another segment. Bye.